I'd always imagined that if I ever got to see my name on a cake at a corporate event, it would be a moment of triumph, a sweet reward for the endless nights I'd spent strategizing, crunching numbers, and steering the ship through storm after storm. I never expected the taste of betrayal to come with frosting. That night, the ballroom at Merrick Dynamics was buzzing with artificial excitement. The scent of money hung in the air, the clink of glasses, laughter that didn't reach anyone's eyes. The cake itself was a garish monument to corporate ego, 3 tiers. High, iced with the Merrick logo, and my name in bold gold letters. Congratulations, Ethan. 700% growth. I tried to smile when I saw it. I really did. I'd earned that number. Through a global pandemic, through an economic downturn that should have buried us. I'd earned it by waking up at dawn, by sleeping under my desk, by telling my wife, Sloan, just one more late night. Until the phrase itself became a running joke between us. She believed in me, or at least, she pretended to. That's what I thought. I stood on stage beside Gerald Merrick, CEO, father-in-law, and the man who taught me everything I never wanted to be. His handshake was warm, his grin practiced, the kind that never touched his eyes. The crowd applauded, my team cheered, and I felt the weight of every hour I'd sacrificed pressing against my chest. It was supposed to be a victory lap, a small vindication that the outsider had. Made good. I tried to savor it. I did. Then Gerald took the mic. He held it like a gavel, like the judge he'd always been to me. Tonight, we celebrate not just Ethan's incredible achievements, he began, his voice oozing that investor charm that made old money nod and new money sign away their futures. We celebrate a future, brighter than any of us could have imagined. I waited, expecting him to hand the mic to me. A few words, a nod to the team, a thank you. But Gerald kept talking. With this success, he continued, we believe the future needs new leadership, fresh vision, youthful innovation. He gestured to the side of the stage, which is why I'm proud to introduce Asher Merrick, our new head of strategy. I felt my stomach drop so fast it left me breathless. Asher, Sloan's little brother, stepping forward like a prize poodle at a dog show, all perfect hair and teenage confidence. 19 years old. He'd spent the last 6 months shadowing me, asking questions he didn't understand, smirking when I answered. I thought it was mentorship, a gesture of family goodwill. Instead, it was the foundation of my own execution. The room burst into applause. Some clapped out of obligation, some with relief. After all, nepotism was the lifeblood of this place. I felt my lips form a polite smile. I even extended my hand. Asher gripped it, firm and triumphant. Thanks, Ethan, he said. I know you'll help me make this transition seamless. Seamless, like an amputation done clean. The cameras clicked, the room spun, laughter, applause, toast, that damn cake, and all I could do was nod, my pulse ticking like a metronome, counting down to midnight. I caught Sloan's eyes in the crowd. She was beaming, proud. She didn't know, or maybe she did. And that made it worse. The boardroom speeches continued, self-congratulatory garbage about legacy and the future. A script I had helped them write, back when we were on the brink of bankruptcy. My strategies had pulled them back from the edge. My plans had landed them the contracts that kept the lights on. My name had saved their empire. And now, my name was a decoration on a cake, carved up and passed around like a treat. I stood there as they cut the first slice, the icing smudging the blade. It felt like a eulogy, a funeral with confetti. But they didn't know. None of them did. That before the frosting had even set, I'd been preparing for this. Months of private meetings with our biggest clients, just coffee, just a handshake, just a whisper of possibility, each one scheduled before tonight, before the announcement, before Asher's smug little smile became the New face of strategy. Each one set up with the same polite phrase. I'd like to discuss how I can support your growth, no matter where I am. And every single one of them had said the same thing. Of course. Because they knew me. They trusted me. They didn't trust Merrick's teenage prince. They knew I'd bled for them. I thought of the late nights I'd spent building contingency plans, of the files I'd encrypted, of the handshakes and small talk that paved the way for my lifeboat. I'd always been good at contingency plans. I grew up learning how to make an exit look like a victory. I felt the rage in my chest, sharp, silent. I didn't show it. Instead, I let Asher take the stage, let Gerald beam like the benevolent patriarch, let Sloane sip her champagne like it was holy water. I clapped with everyone else. I clapped like a man claps for his own funeral. But in my mind, I was already miles away. Already. In quiet conference rooms with my top 5 clients. Each one lined up, each one waiting, each one ready. I was already lighting the matches that would burn the bridge behind me. And as the final toast was raised to the future of Merrick Dynamics, I raised my glass too. The sweet champagne tasted like blood, and in that moment, I realized something that made me smile. Really smile. Not the polite corporate grin I'd perfected. They thought they'd replace me. They thought they'd humiliated me. But the truth was, they'd made the most classic mistake in the game. They underestimated the man who built their empire, the man who knew every hidden flaw, every weakness, every secret clause in every contract, the man they toasted, then betrayed. But they didn't realize. The game had already started, and they didn't, even know they were playing. What you're worth. Let me know. I'd always taken that as a compliment. Today I was taking it as an invitation. We met at a small cafe on 17th Street, the kind of place where suits ordered coffee and avocado toast and pretended they weren't all hunting the same contracts. Marta was already there, her hair pulled back in a severe twist that made her look more like a judge than a CEO. She'd chosen a corner table away from the morning rush. She looked up as I approached, her expression unreadable. But I'd learned to spot the gleam in her eyes, the one that meant she was ready to talk business. "Ethan," she said, nodding politely. I heard the announcement. Her voice was sharp, almost clinical, the same tone she used in negotiations when she smelled blood in the water. I slid into the seat across from her and offered a